Your thoughts?
What? What? Who?
Nice.
RiverBender.com. Commission Chair of the Alton Amphitheater Commission, Dan Herkert, joins us in just about 4 minutes as we're going to get the details of fireworks on the Mississippi July the 3rd, and we're going to get all the details for Jazz and Wine Festival, which was just announced earlier this morning. We're going to have that conversation in just a few short minutes, and we'll lay out who's coming on the show. Hope Animal Rescue will follow Dan Herkert today. But to get right into it, let's hop into top of the hour news at 9:01, and we'll take you to Granite City. A high-speed chase involving a Dodge Ram pickup concluded tragically on Thursday afternoon when the vehicle crashed, resulting in the driver's death. The incident began around 8:05 p.m. when Granite City police attempted to stop the truck on Illinois Highway 3. The driver fled at high speeds, and due to that reckless driving, police discontinued their pursuit and lost sight of traffic of the vehicle. Shortly afterwards, the truck crashed on Niedringhouse Avenue near 16th Street. The driver was pronounced deceased at the scene. That victim, or the individual in that crash, has been identified. Madison County Coroner Stephen P. Nahn has identified the victim as 21-year-old Gerald Llewellyn III from Pontoon Beach. The crash occurred after, of course, the Granite City Police attempted to stop that truck. Funeral arrangements are pending. Also in the news, an 8-year-old girl is in stable condition after being attacked by her family dog last Tuesday, June the 25th. Here's exactly what we know. A neighbor called 911 reporting the child was bitten and was bleeding, with other children unable to remove the dog. When police arrived, they found the dog in the street with blood on its face. The child was discovered in a locked bathroom and required air evacuation to a St. Louis regional hospital. Officers were forced to euthanize the aggressive dog to allow EMS access. The family reports the girl is in stable condition and under observation. The incident remains under investigation. That's a look at what's happening in this brief newscast this morning at 9:03. Let's take you right to weather here. Make sure you sign up for your weather updates by signing up for your daily email update, and that weather report will be there when you need it the most. You can go to RiverBender.com/weather to follow along. Right now it's 66 degrees. It was beautiful this morning. Feels like 70. Today, delightful with more sun than clouds, and tonight clear to partly cloudy. Temperatures will reach only 79 degrees today. How about that? Dropping down to 63 overnight. On Tuesday, we're warming up a bit. It's going to be 90 for the high on Tuesday, a low of 73 degrees. On Wednesday, a 50% chance of rain, a high of 87, a low of 72. On Thursday, they are predicting storms, a 95% chance of thunderstorms, a high of 86, a low of 73 degrees. And on Friday, a high of 85, a low of 66. That's your look at your weather forecast and a look at what's happening around the Riverbend at 9:04. And while I have you, are you looking for a fresh start on the road to recovery? A life free from addiction is possible, and it starts at Centerstone. Centerstone is a national leader in mental health and substance abuse disorder treatment for people of all ages, and with a commitment to delivering care that truly changes people's lives. Centerstone's dedicated clinicians use evidence-based practices in their treatment programs, meaning the recovery care plan is developed for you based on the latest science. There's so many unknowns on the road to recovery, but one thing you can know for sure is that Centerstone will be that constant guiding force for you on your recovery journey. Addiction can happen to anybody, but so can recovery. So start working towards your recovery today by visiting Centerstone online at recoverwithus.org. That's recoverwithus.org, or by calling 1-877-HOPE 1, 2, 3. We'll take a look at downtown Alton, come back with more of our daily show in the Alton Amphitheater after this.
If I really could have hung the moon, would it change your mind? If I could cry a little harder and get a little less sleep at night, if I had to.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone, and over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car, I have a job, there's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got Joey.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ. 9 o'clock on the dot, and we're starting with the commission chair of the Alton Amphitheater Commission, Dan Herkert. July the 3rd is already here. Today's the first day of July, and we already had some life starting on the riverfront, and now we're getting into the full groove of things. How are we doing this morning, man?
We're feeling good. It's good to be back. It's good to be finalizing everything for the rest of the summer, and this morning we've got big news. We're announcing the lineup for the Wine and Jazz Festival for 2024. It's on August 31st. Tickets go on sale today at 10 a.m. On MetroTix.com and at MetroTix outlets.
Well, and this is really exciting because I bragged about it for years now about what I really feel about the Jazz and Wine event. And what I think's great is the fact that you guys in the last couple of years have turned an amphitheater, an outdoor venue, and transformed it almost into a VIP nightclub on stage.
Well, we have. This will be the third year we've used that jazz bistro setup, and it's been extremely popular. It continues to grow. It sells out on stage every year, and people have been asking all of us on the commission when tickets were going to be on sale and when the lineup was going to be out. So we're happy today to be announcing that lineup.
Now, before we go into who's going to be playing there, this was something that you guys have really worked hard on this event. And was it just something that you had this, kind of bug that we got to evolve this? We know this could be a hit.
Well, it was a matter of trial and error. The first year we did it at the amphitheater. We've learned from it. The second year, because of rain, we worked with Argosy and had to move it within days indoor at Argosy, and they were a great partner with us. And then we went back to the amphitheater, and we've continued to fine-tune it, and we think we've really hit on something, and we've really, really been impressed with the growth for the last couple of years.
100%. And now let's find out who's playing.
Well, this year, like the past few years, we're going to open up with the Alton Jazz Confluence featuring some of our our up-and-coming Godfrey, Alton and Godfrey student musicians. We've been thrilled to have them. They've been a huge hit the last few years, and we like to joke that some of these young people are going to be headlining this event in the future.
Well, and on top of that too, Dan, you know, I knew some of the kids just from coaching soccer the last couple of years that were a part of the group, you know, last year and years prior, and these are student leaders. I mean, they're going to medical school. They're really going to be the up-and-coming, you know, prospects from our region all throughout the country.
They're some of the best and brightest our community, Alton, Godfrey, have to put out there, and we're just thrilled to have them back. They've become a fixture with this event, and I hope it's a relationship that continues far into the future.
Me too, man, and I'm right there with you. Now, after that, how many musicians do you have lined up following them?
Well, following the Alton Jazz Confluence, we're going to have Left of West. They're a group that blends funk, rock, jazz, and blues and creates a unique sound that's both energetic and soulful.
Wow.
Their music's been influenced by a wide range of artists. We think they'll be a nice addition to this event, kind of the midpoint of the event before we get to the headliner. We're excited to see what they bring to the table.
That sounds actually really cool. Is this the first time they've appeared?
This will be the first time they've been at the Jazz and Wine Festival. We've looked at some of their previous performances, and we think they're going to be a great fit for us.
Well, just hearing some of the sounds that you're talking about, that's pretty impressive to take a combination of them all and meld it.
Well, we try. Jazz is such a broad range of music. We try every year to have different aspects of jazz on the stage, and we think this is another great group that's going to bring a wide range of music to the stage.
Wonderful. And then after that, who's playing?
Well, the headliner this year is a personal favorite of mine. He's a well-known St. Louis musician. He has performed at the Wine and Jazz Festival, but not as the headliner. This year he's headlining. It's Jim Manley from St. Louis, one of the great trumpet players across the country. I've followed Jim and kind of known Jim for a long time. Pretty much own everything that he's ever recorded, but Jim is a well-known St. Louis fixture, and we're thrilled that we could get him as the headliner this year because we've tried to keep him involved, and it hasn't worked out the last couple of years.
Well, and honestly, Dan, when you said that, I know just from my experience with Jim was with Ray Hartman's show doing the music hour, and just the music he provides is just something out of this world. I mean, to have him in our region's truly a treat.
Well, it is, and anybody that knows anything about music in this region has heard of Jim Manley at a bare minimum. I mean, Jim's done over 10,000 nights of live performances. He's over at Jazz at the Bistro, Evangeline's. He's playing constantly. He's recorded multiple albums. He's opened for the legendary Maynard Ferguson, a personal hero of mine as a trumpet player. He was great friends with Maynard, and Jim has a little bit of that high level power as a horn player that Maynard had. So Jim will bring a high energy to the stage.
Now, how long is he going to be playing for?
Well, he'll be on for a set probably between an hour and 15 minutes to cap off the evening.
You know, no one really talks about how.
And believe me, if Jim wants to play longer, I'm not going to pull him off the stage.
Well, no one talks about. We talk about stamina a lot in sports and everything else, but to play an hour 15, an hour 30 set on horn is pretty damn impressive.
Well, especially when you're playing at the level that somebody like Jim Manley's playing. As an amateur player myself, I wish I had half the talent or even a quarter of the talent that Jim has.
You know, man, Evangeline's has some nice players over there. We talked about Bosie before going over there, but Manley, too, is a fixture. And now, tickets, when do they go on sale?
Tickets go on sale this morning at 10 a.m. via MetroTix.com and MetroTix outlets. The information will also be on the amphitheater's website. Tickets will be $100 for a 4-top table, $50 for a 2-top table, and $10 for general admission. And then there's, of course, applicable taxes and fees. You know, the government always gets their part.
Now, charcuterie, are we doing that?
We are going to work with Brown Bag Bistro. I almost said Jazz at the Bistro. We've had a great relationship with Brown Bag Bistro. We're going to work with them to do the charcuterie trays again. Those have been a huge hit for the past, I want to say, 3 years at the event. And we hope they'll be back as well as a vendor this year. They had a good following down for last year's event, so we're looking forward to that. We'll have a lot of vendors down there. We're still finalizing those. We'll have a huge selection of wines for folks. And we're hoping it just continues to grow like it did last year.
Well, and what I think's amazing is, what date is this again? I forgot to ask you.
This is August 31st this year.
Well, and that's really a nice time because that's right when the front starts to come in and that weather starts to cool off a little bit.
Let's hope, knock on wood. Last year we got very lucky. We had a gorgeous evening with perfect weather. The stage was completely sold out, and we had a very large general admission people that came and just sat out in the general admission concession seating out on the lawn last year.
Well, and now with the four-top table, does that come with a charcuterie tray, or is that an additional
No,
purchase?
that's an additional purchase.
But still, I mean, $25 really for a ticket for a four-top is what it breaks down to.
For an intimate seating around the stage, as well as basically 3 hours of music. So you're getting a pretty good deal compared to anywhere else in the region for a night of great music.
Well, and honestly, Dan, a lot of opportunities like this aren't available anymore. You know,
it's hard to find good jazz. It's hard to find good even blues. You really have to seek it out. And it's always, for me, it's always nice to be in a smaller venue. Even though our amphitheater is rather large, we've taken it down so you do get that intimate feeling where you're right up close with the musicians.
100%. And we'll make sure to link you to Wine and Jazz, and we'll be there on hand on August 31st for that event as well, doing a little bit of a live broadcast. But as we keep moving on, coming up in just about 2 days is the fireworks on the Mississippi River. This is, of course, the staple, the best fireworks show as far as I'm concerned. And this is one that has got to be fun to put on year after year.
Well, it is, because it's such an iconic event in Alton, even before the amphitheater proper existed. It is arguably the greatest fireworks show on the Mississippi River. I know I'm biased toward that, but we're thrilled to be kind of leading it. There's a lot of businesses that have events that evening. We all work together to have a great night for the city across the board.
Well, and coming up, too, you got some musicians and bands that are going to be playing that night as well. Fill us in.
Well, we're going to open the evening. Gates will open at 5 o'clock on Wednesday, the 3rd, down at the amphitheater. We'll open up with DJ Bright. Captain Bright is a member of the armed, or was a member of the armed services for over 9 years. We like to, for that evening, like last year, our DJ was a veteran. And she'll be on the stage from about 5 until roughly, I want to say 7:30, and then at 8 o'clock, returning this year after a great year last year, is the 399th Army Rock Band out of Fort Leonard Wood. They were a huge hit last year, and really right after we ended last year's event, they started communicating and wanting to come back to our amphitheater for this event, and they'll perform from about 8 p.m. right up until the fireworks at 9:30.
That says something. I mean, it really, because they are not hard to, or not easy to book either.
Well, no, they're not. And prior years, we'd had the Air Force Band of Mid-America out of Scott Air Force Base. It disbanded. That's why we ended up with the 399th last year. And we had a great relationship with the Air Force Band of Mid-America. They always wanted to come back, and they're very hard to book. So them wanting to come back, and just the 399th wanting to come back, it makes it easier for us to book them because we built that relationship.
And, you know, on top of that, too, you hit on something there with always including veterans a part of the occasion, because it should be. But, you know, when you walk out on the amphitheater grounds on the 3rd, you can see that veteran connection in so many Riverbend families. And, you know, Grafton has the highest volume per capita of veterans, and you know, numbers are just the reason that is. But if you just break it down as a whole from a region, we have so many families that have contributed to our armed services, and to see them kind of reflecting that night is really special.
Well, I particularly enjoy it as the son of a Marine Corps veteran. That it holds a special place for me, so I'm always glad when we can include either current service members or veterans, especially in a patriotic evening like, well, July 4th, but we do ours on July 3rd.
Well, and I like that you do it on July 3rd, because it's been that way, and it just helps with, I think, so much scheduling for families.
Well, it's been great that all the cities in the Riverbend have worked together to get their nights panned out, so we're not all competing against one another.
100%.
And that way people can, if they want to celebrate the 4th, my favorite holiday of the year, you've got multiple nights and multiple events to do so.
100%. And now, as we're getting to food vendors, because they're always on hand, who are we going to be serving food
Well,
up?
this year I definitely want to give a shout out to the food vendors that are going to be at Fireworks on the Mississippi. We've got our standard bearer, Pig on a Wing, who's been with us for 10 years, and we absolutely love them. We've also got Load It Your Way, Red Apron, Twist of Soul, Quick Bite Frozen Treats, Kona Ice, and the Amphitheater Commission are going to bring back our funnel cakes this year.
Nice. Well, and what I think's cool about all of these events is that there's always something for everybody. You know, you can go with the family and find something that interests you.
Well, this event is great because you have other businesses along Broadway that have events, so people can make a round through the entire city and hit all of the events. We're not trying to compete against one another. We're all trying to work together, so it's nice that people can kind of move around our downtown area and go to various events and then hopefully end up at the amphitheater, because that's the best place to watch the fireworks.
Well, and I don't know if you saw, but just to kind of hit on what you just said, there was we had 3 Purple Coat Productions on the show Friday, and Leah spoke so highly about just the process working with you guys and being able to have her production down there on the amphitheater. And I think it's a testament because, you know, there's always so much gray area with trying to reach out and stuff, but to hear it from the horse's mouth about how you guys are so really easy to work with, send the proposal, let's talk and let's do this. I just wanted to bring that up for you today too.
Well, that's the idea, is we're always looking for content down there. It may not be something we sponsor, but if other people want to do things, we just tell them to come to the meeting, submit a proposal, and it's very seldom that we've ever rejected anything. Most of the time, it's people don't realize how much goes into putting on an event down there, and then they kind of get the deer in the headlights look, because there is an investment.
Yeah, and it happened to me too. Don't let anyone lie to you. But you know, as we're going forward, there's so many other events happening down on the riverfront. But what, just for some FAQs for the fireworks on the Mississippi, because it's such a anticipated event and such a trafficked one, is there any suggestions you could give to some folks out there of when to get to the amphitheater? Maybe some parking logistics.
There's plenty of parking down there. There'll be the Henry Street lot. There'll be the lot on the Argosy side. We have the great pedestrian bridge. It's easy to park up on 3rd Street and Broadway and walk over to the amphitheater. And the police department, I always have to give them a huge amount of credit with the job that they do with traffic control after that event, because it would be chaos if it was not for the great work of our police department.
You're 100% right. And now as we're, you know, kind of talking about both events now, what am I forgetting about?
Well, of those events, I think we've hit on everything. I will say there's going to be more to come on events at the amphitheater, because we have other events coming up in the year. We've got the Food Truck Festival on August 24th. Keep a lookout on that, because we'll be announcing the trucks that'll be participating here in the very near future. And we've got Scotty McCreery on August 9th. Tickets are selling very well for that. It's great to have country back on our riverfront. And then we're going to have the expo coming back September 5th through the 8th.
I wanted to touch on Scotty real quick, because we're going to link the ticket link again in one of our articles. But to have I mean, you guys always find great acts. I mean, we're going down the lines of, you know, a Sugar Ray to Uncle Cracker to Leonard Skinner to Kenny Rogers. I mean, but to have Scotty McCreery, who is a younger guy who is now with that cabin of solo just dominating the country radio waves, this is a huge pickup for
It's a great pickup, and as I've said over and over when we've talked, it all comes down to budget and money. It comes down to the sponsors. I always tell everybody, shout out to our sponsors, go to our website, take a look at those sponsors, go patronize their businesses. But it comes down to money, and he fit in perfectly this year budget-wise, and knock on wood, tickets are selling well. We hope it's going to be a great evening when he comes to town, and we're kicking off with fireworks, and then it's off to the races.
There you go, and you can get tickets for Jazz and Wine and for Scotty McCreery now at MetroTix.com.
MetroTix.com, MetroTix outlets, and there's a link on our website as well.
Absolutely. Always good talking to you, Dan Herkert.
Great to be here.
We'll take a quick break. Daily Show on a Monday morning. Hit you next on this first day of July after this.
When I got in the car accident at the ER, they gave me a prescription of hydrocodone. And over time, it took more medication to mask the pain. I moved over to drug seeking and found heroin and fentanyl. I went to the Centerstone rehab facility, and it was the best decision I ever made in my life. I have my own car. I have a job. There's nothing holding me back anymore.
Dream Home Realty Center.
Hey Sherry, talk to me, Dream Team. We've got Joey.
Yo, what up? It's Mike Keith, the proud graduate of Lewis and Clark Community College. I got my start in broadcasting and now I work all over the country. I discovered my path in media, but I could have been an electrician. Or I could have been a nurse.
Maybe not.
We are are Phillips 66 Wood River Refinery. We make the fuels that take us to work and our children to school. We make materials and energy products that allow us to stay connected to each other. We care about the quality and safety of our products because we care about the communities we share. Our employees live our values of safety, honor, and a commitment to act as good neighbors where we live and operate. We are Phillips 66. Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
I'd pick you up, I'd take you into the night and show
925, welcome back. Jackie Spiker in studio this morning.
Good morning.
Detective Spiker almost.
Yeah, right.
Well, this is really cool. We were talking about doing an interview on the show, and what better time? I mean, number one, Hope Animal Rescues does some pretty awesome stuff, and we're starting to know that in the community more and more, but now it's a chance to support Hope, and I don't know, maybe win $15,000.
I know, right?
What happened here?
I mean, who could complain about that?
You can't. How did this all come about?
Well, we're trying to come up with new ways to raise money.
Uh-huh.
I mean, right now, it's very difficult.
It
And
is.
it costs about $280,000 to run our rescue in a year. That's a lot of money.
How many animals are you all taking care of?
109.
Wow.
We're not small.
Right.
Many years ago, we got a huge donation to build a state-of-the-art animal sanctuary. And it's great. And we still get support from that donor. They pay, we have 4 staff members, they pay for their salary for a year, which saves the rescue about $109,000 a year.
Wow.
So that means every single penny donated gets to go to the animals. We have no paid staff that we have to take care of out of those donations. So it truly is 100%.
Wow.
Which is
That's unheard of. Yeah, that really is unheard of.
Nobody does that. We're the only ones because everybody needs staff. You can't take care of that many animals.
Right.
So in the summertime, people are busy, they're going places, and donations go in the tank. And literally, we're living off our credit cards because the donations just don't come in.
Wow.
Adoptions don't happen. People are busy, which is good for them. You know, everybody needs to do their own stuff for mental health. But rescues and shelters, it's really struggles in the summer.
Well, I've heard, too, on top of it all, nonprofits are just overall struggling across the board. It's just the way the world is right now.
Yeah, there's several that have closed.
Wow.
There's several that have closed, and it's sad. So we're trying to think outside the box. Well, you know, 50-50 raffles are popular. So we set up this raffle. We only sell 300 tickets. So you have a 1 in 300 chance of winning.
That's a pretty darn good odd for 15 grand.
Yeah, right. So when the raffle sells out, we will draw the first Friday after the raffle sells out. And it's a true 50-50. 300 tickets at $100 each. We raise $30,000. The rescue gets 15, which pays 1 month of bills.
Yep.
And the winner gets 15.
Well, and just what you said, though, I mean, that's 1 month of bills.
1 month, yes.
And, you know, I've talked to small business owners and across the board corporations, but $15,000 has got to be one of the highest monthly payouts that I've ever heard anyone talk about. And it makes sense because you're talking about boarding, you're talking about veterinary care.
Veterinary care is the number one cost.
And how many animals do you encounter that truly need dire veterinary care?
I'd say 1 in 8
Yeah.
that we rescue are in serious need. Horribly neglected, heartworms, broken legs. We have one right now that somebody found where the rescue is. We do not advertise our address. We do not have open hours. We're a true rescue. We're not a shelter. Shelter is usually a building where they have open hours to the public. A rescue is a place that has a specific mission, and they are usually not open to the public because they can't accept dogs from the public. we rescue our dogs either from the police departments when they pull a dog out of neglect or abuse or whatever, or out of animal control. Those are the only ways we get our dogs.
Well, and that's another good point too, because you aren't, I don't want to sound negative about this, but you aren't having, some of the, cute puppies that are getting
No.
dropped off. You're
No.
truly rehabilitating animals, and
Correct.
and that's a huge difference too between a shelter in terms of a rescue, because
Correct.
you're truly breaking down those trust issues too. Because I'm
Correct.
sure the animals that you guys have, some of them, not all, but that
Right.
1 in 8,
Right.
especially, have some very serious trust issues with humans.
Well, yeah, they're hand shy. Loud noises scare them. All kinds of things. A few years ago, we had some cabins put down in the woods. We have 14 acres, so we have 3 cabins down in the woods. They have their own fencing, their own doggy door, everything, but it's quiet, and that's the most important thing. And people can visit those dogs one-on-one to earn their trust. There's no loud noises. There's nothing scary.
Yeah.
And we can rehabilitate those dogs easily. But the funny thing is most dogs that we get that were truly neglected or abused are dying for attention.
Really?
They're not the ones that we have the most problems with. The ones we have the most problems with are dogs who have lost their home and their previous owner was a loner.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't get proper social skills. All of a sudden, there's strange people around. They have never been in an environment like
I
that.
could easily see that.
So that is the biggest issue we have. It's not so much the abused dogs. They are the most forgiving, and I don't know why, because if they were people, it would be opposite.
100%.
Okay, but the dogs that belong to somebody in a home where they really didn't go anywhere except for the vet once a year, those are the dogs that have the most problems interacting with new people.
That is so fascinating. And Jackie, how long have you been in the in the rescue industry? I mean, how long have you done this?
19 years.
And throughout those 19 years, how have the needs changed? Just as society changes, the Riverbend region kind of evolves. But just for you guys specifically, how have the needs changed for you? Year after year, 19 years later.
Boy, there's been lots of changes. Since COVID really did change society. I mean, big time.
Huge.
Okay, it was a huge change. And people are different now. They don't, I don't want to say, I'm trying to find the right words, but when it comes to push or shove, they're going to shove the animal out.
Yeah.
And I'm sorry, but I do have issues with that.
Me too.
Okay, they still have every cable channel known to man, but they can't afford to feed their dog. That doesn't make sense.
No.
If you truly have empathy, which I think we've lost.
I
our
agree. Yeah, it's
society.
100%.
Empathy is very important. You can't be taught that, and you can't be trained that. You either have empathy or you don't. And I think society is losing our empathy.
Well, and that's actually, I've never even thought about the COVID point with that, but 100% over. I mean, it's in the same realm of people that decide that an animal on Christmas is the best gift, and then they don't realize that that
Right.
animal stays with you forever, and that's
Right.
your family member.
Exactly.
You know,
or they go out and grandma lost her dog. Grandma's 89. They go out and buy a puppy. Well, guess what?
Exactly.
Nobody wants the puppy when grandma passes, and now the puppy's 10.
Yep.
And it's hard to find that dog a home because they're 10.
Right. Well, and now I wanted to ask you this for your for what you guys do at Hope Animal Rescues. Take me through the rehabilitation process. What's the final stage of rehabilitation look like out of all the blood, sweat, and tears? Because I'm sure there are those with these relationships that you all have with these animals.
Well, I tell you, I mean, we have a very loyal volunteer base. Their goal when they meet a dog that's shy is to win that dog over.
That's awesome.
Okay, that is their only goal. And they love that dog. They bring food to that dog. They'll do anything they can to help that dog. And eventually, the end result is a dog that trusts strangers.
And that's huge.
And a dog that you can go. I mean, our volunteers take them to Shivers for ice cream. They go for walks in the nature trail. So they get out into the big bad world
Yeah.
that they've been afraid of.
Yeah.
And they realize, hey, this is kind of fun.
Yeah. Well, you're right. You aren't keeping them in a 4x4 pen all day.
No,
and
no.
that's what, I mean, everything you all do is done the right way. And it's a true, when you say rescue, and that's why I'm so glad you clarified that, you all are a real rescue, because I'm not going to lie to you,
Truly.
Jackie. I was, when I was buying my first house and, you know, I was ready to kind of settle down, and a couple weeks in, I'm like, well, let's get a, you know, it's time, because I always had a dog and I wanted
Sure.
one, you know, and I thought, well, I'll just go find Hope Animal Rescue and see if they, you can't find them. I said I can't
You
find
can't
the
find 'em,
address.
honey.
you
I'm
know?
sorry.
And I said, but you know what?
But
That's
some people
perfect.
have, and it's not always
No.
a good thing.
And I would never do that, because it's truly your mission to rescue animals. And that's
Right.
what I think is so fantastic about what you do. And yeah, it's great to, you know, help somebody find their furry friend companion and grab the puppy and do all
Exactly.
those things. But to protect the animal is the mission, and to rehabilitate. And that's why I just love what you do, because
thank you.
It's truly that mission.
It is true. We are true to our mission. We have been for 19 years.
Mm-hmm.
No, we don't have a bunch of cute, fluffy dogs. Okay, but what we do have are dogs that trust humans.
Yep.
That you can give them a treat and take it back. They're not going to do anything because they have been taught to trust us. And that is a testament to our volunteers
100% over.
that are there out of empathy.
Mm-hmm.
And you know we don't have open hours. It takes a lot to take care of 109 dogs.
I couldn't even imagine what
mean,
the day
you-
looks like.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
It is crazy. But in the end result, it's all about those dogs. Our dogs have rooms that have patio doors. I'd love to give you a tour.
No, I would. I'd take it any day.
They
of the
have a
week.
patio door that goes to their room. They're not kept in cages. Their rooms are 8 feet wide, 15 feet long. They have a doggy door that goes outside.
Mm-hmm.
In the middle, it's like a U-shaped. In the middle are 2 giant play yards with swimming pools, and they get to play. They get out. They get love and attention. And if you want to heal a dog, you don't have to have a special trait. You just have to have empathy, love, and attention.
Well, and you know, on top of that, why were you so invested to get this going and to really be a part of this? It was saving animals always something that you kind of found near and dear? Did you stumble into this?
No, but I came from maybe, the wrong side of the tracks.
Mm-hmm.
And I didn't have a lot of friends.
Mm-hmm.
But I had my dog.
Yep.
I could tell my dog anything. My dog wouldn't tell anybody. If I didn't feel good, my dog was there. If I were lonely, my dog was there. Dogs are wonderful creatures with empathy.
Yeah.
And they brought the empathy out in me. And I lived a normal life, and all of a sudden, Hurricane Katrina happened. And to this day, I still can't watch a documentary. I can't watch anything about it. But that changed me. I could not believe all the animals that were left behind and just tortured. And so that's how I was hoping to help some dogs. And thus our name.
That's just incredible, Jackie. I never knew that.
That is how we started. It was Hurricane Katrina. We brought 17 dogs from Mississippi and Louisiana up. We boarded them at a boarding facility. We vetted them with our savings, and we found them homes. And the supervisor from the state of Illinois said, you really should start your own rescue. There are dogs here that need help. I had no idea. I really was ignorant to the plight of homeless dogs. I just thought you got a dog, you have it forever.
Right.
I didn't realize
Exactly.
You don't. I mean, that wasn't even in my head.
Right.
And then when my eyes were opened, it was absolutely shocking.
Well, and that's what I was going to lead in and follow up with that is here locally, how many cases do you guys run into, and I don't want to say a year, but just if you could ballpark it, of neglected or abused dogs right here in the Riverbend? Is that really where all of your intakes come in from?
Our intakes come in mostly from around this area.
Wow.
Okay. We intake about 300 dogs a year. As one goes home, one gets rescued. It's literally a revolving door.
Wow.
One gets adopted. We can't wait for that adoption to be finished because there's a dog and animal control scheduled to die. If we don't send a dog home, we have to let that dog die. That's the hardest part because we see the dogs in animal control and we're like, oh God, that looks like a sweet dog. We got to help that dog. And nobody goes home.
Yeah.
And then we know 5 o'clock the dog's gone. And that's a hard thing. And there's really no reason for it. If people were responsible,
You're right.
we wouldn't have this damn problem. So, excuse my
No,
language,
you're right.
but it's absolutely infuriating
Well, it is.
that people are ignorant to the plight of the dogs and that they have no empathy at all.
Well, there was a case, and I didn't get in trouble. I thought I was going to until the whole town said, here, here. And this was
Yeah.
the one in Alton where this clown got charged with animal cruelty and killed 3 of his dogs. And I'm telling you, there's no place to even put him on trial. I have no use for people like that. I have
What the
none.
heck?
You can't fix that. And I'm sorry. It's absolutely, it's more than criminal, and it's just not right.
There
And-
is something wrong with that person.
Yeah.
There is something terribly wrong.
But I'm right there with you, Jackie. I have no use for anyone that neglects an animal. I mean, you're talking to the guy that had a pig living in his bed for a while. You know, I mean,
Right.
yeah. I
I
mean,
mean,
that's you do what you
thank
got because
you.
they're
Yeah.
they're family. And what I think's just cool though is the fact that you're volunteers. You guys, I don't know if you vet them or if there's a pretty strict process, but just from what I can see, it is.
We do vet them. They have to apply, and they have to be like-minded.
That's interesting. I like that. Explain a little bit further.
They have to be like-minded.
Okay.
If you breed your dog, don't apply to volunteer. First of all, you're not going to last because everybody there is going to give you crap.
Yeah.
I don't know. You could disappear in the woods. I mean,
Yeah.
you
Yeah.
know, I mean, breeding is just not necessary right now, especially for pit bulls, any kind of bully breed. What the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. I get it. No, I get it.
And the people that buy those dogs, what the hell's wrong with you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Do you know that only 1 in every 100 nationwide get out of animal control alive? 1.
Are you serious?
1. That's absurd.
That is. I mean, that really
We're
is
just
absurd. Yeah.
breeding them for what purpose?
For euthanization. That's
we treat them like objects and not like living beings. And people are confused. Yes, God gave us domain over the animals. Do they really understand what domain means? Because what it means is we are responsible for their care.
yeah. Yeah. I mean,
It doesn't mean do whatever you want to them.
well, and that's why I so highly encourage the support of Hope Rescues as long as we can possibly do it, because it's not. It goes across the team of 4 that you all have that are wonderful and in-house, and to know that basically, you know, they're paid for by another grant or some installment of that, and knowing that every bit of donation we give to Hope Animal Rescue, that's going to an animal.
Correct.
And across the board, from the 4 staff, but even down to the volunteers, with what I was leading into, is everyone lives and breathes that same mission. It is not.
Correct.
I mean, there is no kind of question mark out there. This
No.
is cut and dry. This is what we do.
This is what it is. And I am a black and white type person. There's no gray area.
Me too. Very much so.
Okay.
Yeah.
If these are the rules, I'm going to stick to the rules.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't deviate. Now, I step on toes,
Well, we all do.
you know, but I can't help it. I take it to heart. My job is to look out for the animals.
But that's what you need. And that's, see, that's where I get so frustrated now, Jackie, because everyone's always willing to make a concession. You
Correct.
know, everyone's always willing to compromise, and compromise
Man,
is great.
yes,
you
you
know,
are
but
dead on.
at the end of the day, if it's not going to work, it's not going to work. It's a
Correct.
very, you know, there isn't no, well, okay, this has never happened, but because you smiled at me nice and because you're so upset, I'm going to give you this dog or I'm going to let you be here.
Right, right.
You got to be able to answer the mission of the organization
Correct.
every approach.
Every approach. That's why, you know, that's another reason why I'm not knocking anybody else.
Right. No.
Everybody does do good things. They're just all different.
Yep.
There's no right or wrong per se,
Yep.
as long as you're helping the animals.
Yep.
But like, you know, you look around and you see all these shelters, they're so desperate. They're having discounted adoptions. I'm sorry, but you cannot properly vet 100 people in one day.
No. And the thing is, and that's where I've
And
always
we don't discount our adoptions. I mean, I just don't. We spend, just to vet a dog is $312. Our adoption fee is $275.
Mm-hmm.
We don't. This isn't making a profit. It's a nonprofit. Our job is to raise the difference in fundraising, and sometimes we rescue a dog that costs $5,000-$6,000. Their adoption fee is $275.
Right.
You know.
right.
But you need to be able, that adoption fee is based on vetting the dog once a year. If you can't afford that, you really shouldn't have the dog.
100%. And hey, Jim, want to stick around?
Heck yeah.
I got to pay a quick bill. 9:44. We'll take a quick break. Daily Show on a Monday. Hit you right after this on RiverBender.com.
Get paid to go solar. We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
Sorry, I was too busy talking to Jackie about getting rid of these jerks that own dogs that shouldn't. And forgot to mention the Summer Mega 50/50 raffle too much here. So tickets are on sale now.
Correct.
And how much are they?
They are $100 a ticket.
Uh-huh.
You will be texted an image of your ticket or emailed an image of your ticket within 48 hours of purchasing your ticket. Again, we're only selling 300 tickets. Once it sells out, it'll be announced on our Facebook. The Friday after it sells out, we draw. So the faster it sells out, the faster somebody gets their money.
Good line there. I like that.
Yeah, I mean, that's how you want to do it. And it will go until we sell out or until October 15th, I believe. If it doesn't sell out, whatever we have sold, so you might only get 10 grand, you might only get 5 grand, but it only costs you $100.
Well, that's why. Okay, so it's one drawing,
right?
But it's all dependent on if we sell the 300.
Correct.
But I think we will pretty quickly. I do. I think
we should. We should. But the economy and everything is different now, so it's a little scary.
You know,
it's scary.
Have you ever done? There's a video that came out the other day, and it was a guy checking out his groceries. And the cashier had to hold his arm down and said, "We'll get through this together," as the guy was crying and biting a tissue and all this stuff, you know.
Right.
But, you know, and what I think's great is you guys extended this, so it's not forcing people to act quick and get all these things done because money is tight.
Money is.
So you guys have you guys have until October 15th. If the tickets don't sell, put a couple of dollars back each week and then get
Right.
your chance to win 15 grand. That's a life-changing money. I'm sorry.
I'm
That is
sorry, it is.
life-changing
Yes,
money.
it is.
I mean, if I had 15 grand, I'm telling you, I wouldn't be back doing a show until next Tuesday because I'd be celebrating.
Yeah, right.
And I'm getting a ticket. Don't think I'm not. I host
I
a local
mean,
talk show.
Think about what that could do for somebody.
Well, and
you
what
know?
that does for hope overall, because and that's the bigger thing. Because winning money's great, and when you see 15,000, of course, it gets you excited. But
Right.
just knowing that your $100 is going towards the care of an animal,
Exactly.
and
not payroll or anything like that. It
Or-
is going to dog food,
Yeah.
electric, water. Our water bill's $450 a month.
I could only imagine that.
I
I
mean,
bet every
it's
bit
crazy. Actually, it might be more in the summer because we have to do other things.
Yeah.
But it's outrageous.
Well, and now how do we get our tickets? How do we buy them?
You can go online at www.hoperescues, and it is plural, .org. Scroll down a little bit. You'll see the flyer for the raffle, and you'll see purchase now. Just click that and buy your ticket. If you do not want to do it online, you do not have to. All you have to do is put it in an envelope, put on the front Hope Rescues /raffle, P.O. Box 397, Godfrey, Illinois 62035. Drop it in the mailbox. And when we get it, you will get your ticket either mailed back to you or texted to you if you leave your phone number so that we can do that. Or if you include your email, we'll send it to you via email.
That was as professional as it comes. That's a true veteran right there. You knew every detail that you could get out. And I just love every bit of this. And
I've
honestly,
done this before.
Yeah. But I mean, whether or not, folks, you get one ticket, you get. And how many is it? Limit per ticket? How many tickets we can
No.
purchase? Oh.
There's no limit.
Okay. Now do the math here.
Now do the math.
You get just
you
hear me
spend
out.
$300.
Yep.
You get 15 grand.
Yeah.
Duh.
Yeah, and your chances go up significantly.
Significant.
I mean,
Correct.
this is I'm getting a ticket. I got to win 15 grand,
I mean,
Jackie.
it works.
Make for a great Christmas, you know?
It sure would. It sure would. And it would really help the dogs.
Well, and that's
so you have it's a win-win.
what I think's really cool is just going back before we say goodbye for now is what you just said about, we don't have anything going to payroll or anything else. But on top of that, too, you aren't going, well, we need to sell all this because we have a marketing budget of $800 and we
don't
got to
have
get
a marketing budget.
That's what
I made that
love.
flyer.
I love it. That's a true. I mean, everything you do. That's why I just from across the board, it's the right way to do it, and it's so honest, and that's why I love this. And getting the chance to go up there and see the facility would be wonderful. For
I
me.
will take you there. You just let me know.
And don't ask me where because I ain't gonna tell you. This
Do
is
not.
too
No.
And here's why: because this
We've
is
had criminals show up.
well, and
we take dogs from police.
Oh no!
Yes.
Oh my God!
And
I
by
have
law,
never
they
even-
have to tell you who took your dog.
Oh my God!
We had a guy show up because our post office gave them the address.
No
when he
way.
Yep. It was a big accident. It was a big ordeal. The person got fired.
I'd say so.
Gave the guy the address. He showed up at our place. Luckily, it's 14 acres. The rescue is behind the main house. We told him it was all foster homes. For some reason, 109 dogs did not bark. 109 dogs. Even my own dogs in the house. Nobody said a word when that guy came. He said, "You got my dog. The police. I got out of jail. I want my dog right now." He did not know his dog was there, but she was back in the shelter where you can't see. So we told him we were just foster homes. We didn't know what foster home had the dog, and he left. Thank God.
Well, and that's very serious.
That's why we don't have. It's not because we're being secretive, but we are being
Honestly, you
secretive.
should
We
be.
take high risk dogs.
Yeah, and you should be secretive. I'm sorry.
We take high risk dogs, and that is scary.
It is, and I mean, honestly, it makes me feel better for yelling at my dog for barking at the damn groundhog and not the person knocking at my door at 9 o'clock at night. Because now I know at least 109 dogs forgot about somebody too, and
Well, they were quiet.
I know,
and
so-
that saved our butts.
I get it now.
No, see,
because
you
if
went
they,
right over your head.
it did because I thought, well, you wanted
If
to
he
know the
heard
guy
all
was
those
there.
dogs barking,
He would know, and he would. That's wild. That's even more crazy now
So
that you
why
said
those
that.
dogs did not bark when they bark all the time?
You know, we got a little bit of help, I think.
I think we put off some pheromones and they all went, ooh, Jackie and Kim are nervous. Don't say anything.
But I mean, just to know after talking with you and really, because I've always loved it and heard great things.
Thank you.
But to
Thank
really
you.
hear it from you and just getting to know a little bit more, I mean, this is definitely a rescue. And the fact to know that, it's terrible to know that there are dogs mistreated in this community and anywhere. But to know that there's an opportunity, if there's more donations, the more the merrier, obviously.
Right.
But knowing that there's at least a chance that that dog can be saved, and not only go to a 4-foot cage, but go to an actual spot to be rehabilitated because they gone through trauma.
Yes. And the only way we can rescue a dog is adopt. Adopt. Don't look at the breed of the dog. Look at who the dog is. It doesn't matter what the dog is. It matters who they are.
And can we talk about your adoption process?
Sure.
Because I love this because you guys make sure there's a meeting and a couple of other truly vetted adoption.
Correct.
It isn't,
we
you
do not
signed
get
up.
very many dogs returned. We do not get, I haven't got a call, knock on wood, from an animal control in years that they have one of our dogs.
And that's because I've noticed when I was looking into it, you guys really do go and check. I mean, it is not. Yeah. You aren't just walking home with a dog today if that's what you think.
Correct.
Yeah. I mean, seriously, I love it.
I don't know you.
I love it.
And it's nothing against anyone, but I don't know you. And everything goes, when we review an application, it's risk factors.
Yep.
It's 100% risk factors. That's it. I don't look at your name, who you are. I don't care if you're wanting to adopt, but I do look at risk factors. So that's the number one. That's what we do. I don't care what the inside of your house looks like, but I will go to Google Earth and make sure that you have the fence you say you do. And once you are deceptive in any way,
you're done.
You're done.
Yeah, I admit totally. And now,
but we also offer lifetime support.
Yep.
I mean, I've had adopters call 5 years later, and this little dog they found he had a hole in his heart. So we had a fundraiser on our Facebook page and everything. We raised the money to pay for that surgery. It was outrageously expensive.
I couldn't even imagine.
But that little dog lived to be 13. What shelter can you call after adopting a dog and say, hey, I need help with a vet bill? You can't do that.
Yeah.
But we ask for something and we give in return. It has to be 50-50 to be successful.
And Jackie, for more information on the Summer Mega 50/50 raffle, and for just any other comments, questions, and donations, how can they reach out to you, and what's the best way to find all the information?
All the information will be on www.hoperescues.org, or you can email me at admin, ADMIN, at hoperescues.com.
Oh, look at this. This is exciting. Before I say goodbye to you, my cousin, Sydney, she was playing professional soccer in Turkey for a little bit, and just got announced she's going to be playing for the new Tampa Bay Sun FC, the women's team down there. Congratulations,
Holy
Sydney
cow.
Nasello. That's pretty
Woo.
exciting for the Nasello family.
That is exciting.
That's a
You guys got to have a party.
Yeah, I got to send her a text. She's
Yeah,
down there in
you do.
Florida. We'll have to. We'll take a break. Let me text Sydney. Congratulations, and Nasello playing in the Pro League in America. That's always
cool.
That's a cool thing. We'll come back. Daily Show hits you on a Monday after this.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
Timber!
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back, 10:02 on this first day of July. CJ Nasello, it's our daily show. We'll take you to top of the hour news now. Right away, we'll take you to Cahokia Heights. Cahokia Heights Police Department has enlisted the Major K Squad of Greater St. Louis to aid in investigating the fatal shooting of a 17-year-old male. On June the 29th, officers responded to a shooting report on the 1300th block of William Street at approximately 5:19 a.m. They discovered Terrence Booker, a black male with multiple gunshot wounds in a front yard. Booker was pronounced deceased at the scene. 14 investigators have been assigned to this case, and authorities urge anyone with with information to contact the Major Case Squad at 618-332-4277 as the investigation continues. Also in the news today, the newest Max location, Max on Ferguson, has officially opened at 82 East Ferguson Avenue in Wood River. During a ribbon-cutting ceremony on Friday, Wood River Mayor Tom Stallcup welcomed Max owner Rob Linhart to the community. Linhart shared the process of opening the convenience store, and it took about a year, including obtaining a gaming license and remodeling the building. The new store aims to revitalize a previously empty and dilapidated area. Max on Ferguson is the third location in the Riverbend area with plans for further expansion in the future. Governor Pritzker has urged the U.S. Department of Labor's Office of Mine Safety and Health Administration to address the sinkhole that emerged on the 26th of June at Gordonmore Park. The sinkhole, linked to previous mining activities, requires a swift and transparent investigation, according to Pritzker. He emphasized the need for collaboration between state and federal agencies to expedite the investigation and to ensure community safety. The governor's call for action includes support from the Illinois Department of Natural Resources and the Illinois Emergency Management Agency. Fortunately, the incident caused no injuries, but residents seek quick resolutions and preventative measures. We'll keep you updated as we learn more on the process going forward. The Bethalto Community Unit School District No. 8 Board of Education is working diligently to fill 2 vacancies following the resignation of Jeff Whaley and Corey Stassi. Superintendent Dr. Jill Griffin emphasized the board's commitment to appointing new members quickly. During a closed session on the 27th of June, the board discussed potential candidates and reviewed 21 applications over 2 work sessions held on June 17th and the 18th. The next regular meeting is scheduled for July 18th at 6 p.m. at the Bethalto School District's central office, allowing the board to remain within the 60-day appointment window. Finally in the news, 2 more stories for you. Kevin J. Patton, 27 of Kane, is facing multiple felony charges following a series of incidents that started with the traffic stop on May the 6th. Initially charged with possession of a controlled substance and methamphetamine, Patton failed to appear in court and was apprehended on a warrant June 13th, released under the Safety Act guidelines on June the 18th. Patton allegedly threatened members of the Calhoun County Sheriff's Office, and he was subsequently charged with 3 new felonies for threatening a public official. Patton was apprehended again on June 25th and is being held without bond. Finally in the news today, for the first time in almost 30 years, James Killian Park in Alton now has operable bathrooms. On June 28th, the new restrooms were being installed at the park on Washington, marking the start of a broader renovation project. Mayor Goins and Alderwoman Brown, who both promised park improvements during their campaigns, expressed their joy and pride in fulfilling the commitment. The City Council allocated $200,000 of ARPA funds for the project. Future plans include a band show and possibly a mini amphitheater, furthering enhancing the park's amenities for the community. At 10:06, a look at your weather forecast for the rest of this show and the rest of the day. It's 68 degrees. It feels like 73 today. Delightful with more sun than clouds. And tonight, clear to partly cloudy. Temperatures reach 80 today. They drop down to 63 overnight as we head into Tuesday. On Tuesday, a high of 90, a low of 74 degrees. On Wednesday, a 50% chance of rain, a high of 87, a low of 72 degrees. And on Thursday, a 96% chance that you better grab that 7-iron. It's storming on the 4th of July. 88 degrees for the high, 73 for the low. You know, like Caddyshack. Okay. On Friday, a high of 85, a low of 66 degrees. For time and temperature throughout the day, give this phone number a ring, 618-465-4545. This time powered by Bounce Back, Rehab, Recover, and Return Home. We'll take a quick break at 10:07, and we'll come back with Grid Solar. I'm excited. We're going to talk all about the solar industry with a trusted and true partner on both sides of the Metro East. Now with this new net metering from Ameren, we're going to tackle that here in just a couple of minutes. Some information that you definitely need to know. We'll take a quick break, look at Skycam, and we'll come back with more of our daily show right after this on RiverBender.com.
Won't you show me that you really care? Everybody got somebody to lean on. Put your body next to mine.
Get paid to go solar. We're not solar bros. At Grid, we're solar pros. We explain the process behind solar power so you can make an informed decision. We'll work with you to make owning your power as simple as possible and affordable with zero down financing and payment options. Our only goal is to save you money. Call Grid when you're ready to be independent of the power company.
I had an amazing experience with Dr. Haug and her team. I came here when I was 10 years old to get my braces on. Now I'm 28 years old, braces off, and I get so many compliments on my smile. It's helped me thrive in my career as a news reporter, and also as Miss Missouri USA, I took the stage with confidence, knowing my smile was gonna make me look like $1 million. I've never felt better and more confident because of my smile.
Life's better when you're under the American Family Insurance roof because they know your house is home base for their dreams. Whether it's a kid like me aiming for the big leagues, ready? Future rocket scientist, or a budding prima ballerina. When you feel totally protected, your family's free to pursue their dreams. She's good.
Let's go.
American Family Insurance.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville. Picture This and More has been a trusted name in the Alton community for more than 30 years, with the last 3 being right here on Broadway. We specialize in quality framing at affordable prices. We also feature works by local artists because we're proud of our community. If you have valued treasures to display and preserve, we're sure to have the perfect fit with our large selection of custom framing and display options. Whatever color, shape, or size, Picture This and More has the look you need. Stop by today and let us help you with your next project.
You're listening to Our Daily Show with CJ Nasello on RiverBender.com.
We're gonna rock down to Electric Avenue. And then
Tight.
take it higher. Oh, we're gonna rock
I haven't seen you in a while.
Electric Avenue.
I didn't know what I figured. Electric Avenue, right now as we await, we haven't officially named this segment yet, but this is like the first real one, I mean, we got to know you and Jason a couple of weeks ago, and now we're talking all things solar industry.
I think Electric Avenue, everyone does something sun. It's just it's so cliche at this point. So yeah,
it really, it's like the lazy days at the beach sticker. We've all had one 48 times.
or Salt Life.
Yeah. Oh, don't even get me started. It's on site if I see a Salt Life. It's on site. And we were talking, I mean, right off the bat, this is pretty important news we're going to be talking about today with this change in how Ameren does their net metering.
Correct. Yeah.
Now, you know a hell of a lot more about this than I do, but before we really dive into this, since I talked to you, how have things been, though, right, overall?
Really busy.
Has it really?
Yeah, absolutely.
Good problem to have.
Yeah, when the sun comes out, people think solar more often. The more the sun shines, so it makes sense.
Oh, yeah, and also a lot hotter days, I'm sure too.
Well, and then the air conditioning bills start to hit, and where you don't notice your power bill a lot of times, it's when those $250, $350 power bills, you start to notice it.
The ones where the tears start to form whenever you look at it.
You got it.
Yeah.
Right.
Well, and now with this net metering, this is very important. And this is a big reason, honestly, not to patronize you because you're here and you're bigger than me, but because of the fact that, I mean, you really need to have somebody that knows the industry and knows these ins and outs, because if you don't have a company that understands net metering, these changes, it could really affect what your perception is on solar and if it's really the right fit for you too.
Correct, absolutely. You always have to look at like solar, because obviously it doesn't produce energy at night, right?
Mm-hmm.
So how can you reduce a power bill by 100% when you're only producing energy at most half the time, right? So there's an agreement that you have with the power company called net metering, right? And that's that trade of electricity. So during the daytime, you're going to push energy out onto the grid because you're going to be producing way more than your house is using.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't want to waste that energy. So you give it to the grid, and literally that energy goes to your neighbors, your closest neighbors, and they pay for the energy produced on your roof. Okay.
Uh-huh.
So at night, Ameren will give you credits for the energy you gave them during the day, and at night they will give you that energy back for free. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Now, this is the last year where all of those credits, they actually only do a true up or an accounting of those credits once a year right now. So I can overproduce in May, June, July, and August. And if I have electric heat, you know, my winter bills
you're
could
taking
be huge,
care,
right?
Yeah.
But obviously solar produces less in the winter, sun shines less in the winter, so my production goes down, my usage goes up, and we have a gap.
Mm-hmm.
So right now, you can use your overproduction from, you know, spring, summer, and fall to pay for your underproduction in the wintertime.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so you can have a net annual bill of pretty close to zero.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, it's possible. Next year, starting January 1st, 2025, anybody who hasn't been approved for interconnection with Ameren will start to get the true up once every single month. Okay, so if I overproduce in May, I get a small bill credit. Same thing with June, July, August, September. So when I start to underproduce because my electric heat kicks on, my bills are coming back. I can't make up for that with solar anymore.
Yep.
Right? So, you know, folks who have natural gas heat, not as big of a deal, right? Because their usage curve matches the production curve of solar pretty closely.
Get that, yep.
Right? Okay, but folks with electric heat especially are going to have these Dr. Jekyll and Mr. Hyde systems. $0 power bills, spring, summer, fall, and then the power bills are coming back pretty strong coming the winter. Again, solar still works, it's still reducing that power bill. But obviously, if you have a $300 power bill in the wintertime, you know, it might only be reduced by $100 to $200.
Well, and to me, and this is just me thinking out loud here, Ryan, but this is where you're going to truly find out if the person that installed your solar knew what they were doing. I mean, correct?
Correct, absolutely. And that's what we always talk about is when you design for an entire year, it's relatively easy. You use 13,000 kilowatt hours. I produce 13,000 kilowatt hours. I don't care when you produce them. It works.
It comes down to zero because,
it's gonna be fine, right? But now we're going to have to break it down per month. Right, so you used 1,300 in May. We're going to produce 1,400 in May. In June, you know, and again, we can't affect the production. I don't affect how much the sun shines.
Stop lying to me.
Yeah, I don't. I don't have a knob. I wish I did. It'd always be on 10. But yeah, again, I can't do anything about that. So if you just blindly buy 100% systems, and then all of a sudden your power bills are only reduced by 70%. It's going to be too late by the time you realize that, you know, and by the time you realize your system was designed incorrectly, it'll be far too late.
Yeah.
There's no receipts on these. You can't take them back to the store and say, hey, you didn't give me what you sold me.
That's what my question was, because when people get hit with this reality and it starts to happen here, what does that conversation look like? Are you pretty much stuck if the company kind of designed this and it's there? I mean, a redesign's pretty intensive.
Yeah, I mean, and again, you can. It's the law of diminishing returns when it comes to that.
Yeah.
Let's say that the ideal system economically for your house under the new guidelines. Let's say that ideal system was 70% offset, a 70% reduction in your power bill. Okay, if somebody designed you a system that was 100% system, each panel that they added to your house after 70%, it helped you less and less. And it helped the power company more and more. Because when you buy solar, you're essentially buying solar at today's retail rate, okay? But then when you overproduce and you sell that to the power companies, you're selling it at wholesale rate.
Gotcha.
So nobody buys something retail today and then sells it for wholesale and said that was a good idea.
Right.
Right. That is why the most economical system for those folks under that rule might be the 70% system. Okay, but if you have somebody who doesn't understand that rule change, right, and they're still doing things the way they were doing yesterday because that's how their sales manager taught them to do things, and they just don't understand, then yes, you know, there might not even be evil intention behind just ignorance of how things work.
Well, and you know, that's how would be a great gauge to know if a solar company's the right fit for you. So you ask this direct question and say, how have you guys adapted to this new change in the way that net metering works, and see what their answer is.
Absolutely. And we encourage people to shop around because I don't think somebody's going to sit across the table from you and know more about solar than we did, right? So if honestly, if there's another company that is better for you, more than happy. That's okay. Unlikely in our opinion, obviously, but yeah, like you said, like that's a great, there's a lot of good questions that you can gauge that representative's knowledge of the system and just of solar in general, and quizzing them on net metering is a great way to do that.
And that's how you, to me, differentiate the salesperson from a knowledgeable expert on something. And now, does it affect the Missouri side of things for what you all do? Is it the same on both Ameren, Illinois, and Ameren, Missouri?
So that's a great question. In Ameren, Missouri, and Ameren, Illinois will take painstaking efforts to tell you they are two separate companies.
Of course they will. Yeah,
Okay.
They'll fight to the death for that.
Yes, they do not play with each other. But no, Ameren, Missouri has had this rule since I've been in the industry.
Okay.
So this is how people in Missouri have always bought solar. That's how we've always designed it in Missouri. And the other thing that I point out to folks in Illinois actually is that in Missouri we only have the 30% federal tax credit. There are no other rebates, and people go solar in Missouri all the time. So here in Illinois you have the 30% tax credit plus the solar renewable energy credit. Plus, you, for this year, still have a better net metering policy, right? So, we're going to get to the end of the year. People are going to start to hear about this more and more, and then we're going to have October, November, December, and everyone's going to try and sign up in October, November, and December and say, get me that good net metering policy, and it just won't be possible.
There's no way.
Yeah, it will not be possible to do it by then.
No. Well, and honestly, just with what you said, though, and I didn't, that wasn't a setup question to have you go, well, no, I worked on Missouri. It's no different than what we've been doing. But that's another kind of notch in the belt of why to start the phone calls with Grid Solar. I mean, the issues that Illinois-specific solar companies are going through now are things that you guys have already combated with and worked with on a day-to-day basis across the river.
Right.
I mean, that's that simple of a reason why.
And the only constant in solar is change. That's interesting. That's the only constant. So, right now, I always ask people, who do you think has the deeper pockets when it comes to politicians? The solar industry or the utilities?
Ooh.
It's the utilities.
Yeah, I was getting nervous, but I was the obvious is utilities.
It's the utilities. They have the deeper pockets.
Right.
And so when it comes to policy changes like this, like the one we're talking about, this is bad for solar, but it's good for the utilities. So the utilities tend to win those battles. So as of right now, we've seen across the country, California, NEM 3.0. Google that, take a look at that. California is the beacon on the hill for solar, right? And they just changed their net metering policy to like a medieval net metering policy, making everybody who buys solar, like their systems are now far more expensive because they have to buy batteries. Okay.
Wow.
And so if that happened in California,
it's coming.
It can absolutely happen here, right? And it can happen in Missouri. So, yeah, we're not the ones putting the pressure on you to sign up today to get these good net metering policies, because that's the other thing, CJ, and a lot of people don't know this, is that when you sign up for the whatever net metering policy you end up getting, you sign a contract with the utility for 15 years. So you are now grandfathered in.
So you're done. No matter what happens next year, you're safe.
Yep, you're safe. So you are grandfathered in for 15 years at whatever rule you get, right? So I promise you the rules will continue to get less advantageous to the consumer as we go.
Yeah.
So
do you see it on the Illinois side starting to almost mirror Missouri in a couple of years?
When the solar renewable energy credit disappears, then absolutely. I mean, Illinois is right now one of the 5 best states in the country for solar, and that's because of the solar renewable energy credit, right? That incentive is so major that you guys have one of the 5 best states for solar.
Well, and that's why, I mean, just to have the conversation, though, because you're right. If your solar company ain't looking at other states, because it eventually will happen at some point down the line where it might not be the same identical ordinance or law or code that's passed, but it will be similar in a way that it mirrors it almost. And to know that you guys are already looking at things that happen in California, things that happen in these other states, it's a big deal, and it's how you know that you're staying on the pulse of things.
Right. Absolutely.
Yeah.
I mean, like, we're solar nerds. Like, I
tried and true.
We prove that time and again. So this isn't just a hobby of ours or something we do. We didn't sell cell phones yesterday, and we're not selling cars tomorrow. Like this is definitely our passion. This is our industry, and if you should, especially with an industry that's kind of the Wild West right now.
It is, man.
It can be difficult because it moves. They move the goalposts in solar faster than in most industries.
Well, people know, especially around me, the last couple of weeks was not one to kind of knock on the door and do your thing. And this company, I don't know who they are, but they have a bunch of kids that wear these polo shirts and they knock on doors. Okay, number one, I'm not going to trust you with solar because you don't even know how to drive yet. Number two, go away. Where's your permit? Well, I don't know. I said, well, I'm not here to hear I don't know. We don't want it. Well, no, we could really help you do this and this. I don't want it. And eventually, I almost ended up on Channel 11 News, Ryan. I really did.
Yeah.
How do you guys combat that? Because I'm sure that there is a stigma when you meet with some clients that maybe had a bad first taste of some of these door knockers who are no different than any other industry. How do you combat that in your conversations?
Again, just knowledge.
Yeah.
We even have knowledge of what they were probably told, and so like a lot of times when you have somebody who is defensive off the bat, and again, because there's a lot of that in this industry, we will oftentimes we'll just tell them certain things that they may have been told or certain things that they've heard, and then we kind of clear the air with that.
Mm-hmm.
If you check out our Facebook page, we have an ongoing chapter,
Yep.
blog, if you will,
Yeah.
about behind the curtain on solar myths.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So we're actually trying to say, hey, this is what companies out there are saying, and here's the reality of it, right? So we're actually trying to dispel some of those myths because a 30% federal tax credit is amazing.
Yeah.
But that the way that they advertise that tax credit then becomes, less than honest.
Yeah.
Right. So we try to dispel the myths about stuff like
Well, and now going forward, and this is, for people that are really interested in this and trying to get all the benefit that they can before things start to change, when is the best time to call? Because, I obviously call the day is the best things, earlier better than not. But if they had to, maybe take a few days and talk it over with the wife or husband or whoever, when's the best time to really call and start the process with you if they want something before the end of the year?
So, we understand that a lot of people don't want calls, and so we have multiple ways that people can approach us, and kind of the most arm's length, if you will, is go to our website and fill out the form, basic information on there, and then we're always going to ask you for your power bill first, right? Because we're just speaking in generalities and guesses until we have that power bill. That tells us exactly how much energy you use every single month. And then we can figure out how much we can produce on your house. And now we're talking in specifics about your property. So information is 100% of the time free. Some people opt to have like a 10, 15-minute phone call with us, regarding the power bill and the process.
Yeah.
And then I always say my goal is to get you to invite me to your house so we can talk about it in person. If you don't, I'm okay with that too.
Well, and I just think this is really cool. The more I talk with you, because, solar, you hit it right on the head. I mean, a lot of people kind of get the hair kind of sticking up a little bit when a solar company comes because it's new. Not a lot of people know about it. The ones that say they know about it know even less than the people who don't know, you know?
Absolutely.
And just hearing this, though, I mean, when did this net metering change when was it announced?
So, oddly enough, we actually got Ameren sent us something telling us about it, and it was approved in 2021.
Oh, well, that's nice.
Yeah, and kept super quiet.
For 3 years.
For 3 years, right? So there's going to be this huge rush this year, and especially in this last 6 months as it gets publicized more and more, but they could have been publicizing this for 3 years. But they didn't want everybody to get signed up on the good net metering policy. They wanted exactly what they're going to get, which is a huge rush at the end, and some people won't get approved. Some people will have to deal with, that new net metering policy.
This is just incredible, man. And now, going forward, is there any other changes that you'd like to talk about today? Because I know net metering was the big one, but is there one that you kind of wanted to touch on ahead of the next time you guys are on in 2 weeks?
Not really. Like I
said,
said,
no, this net metering's huge, man.
I mean, if you think about the percentage of our customers that this impacts, it is a gigantic percentage of customers.
And I mean, it kind of puts you all in the tough spot, though, too, because I'm sure you don't want to call your prospects and kind of make them feel like you're rushing them, but you kind of do in the same breath.
Right, and that's why I phrased it the way I did.
Yeah.
We're not putting the pressure on you.
You're not.
Right?
No.
And that's why I like the fact that everything we say is publicly available information. So if you feel like I'm rushing you on this, here, read Ameren's press release that says the exact same thing I'm saying right now.
100%, man.
You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to explain it to you.
Well, if you guys need any more questions, man, 20 minutes flew by with you. That was nuts.
Weird. Talking solar is easy for me.
Well, it made it fun, too. At 1028, Grid Solar LLC is the place to go. GridSolarLLC.com, where you can fill out the contact form and request your free solar design, and then you can have that conversation with Ryan or Jason or the rest of the team as you guys discover and really just unlock all the benefits that await for you at Grid Solar. And stay up to date on this net metering, because it won't be now, but in January when you're pounding your hand on the desk and kicking yourself, you could have done it today.
Yeah, and you probably have to be signed up by August or September to get the net metering policy.
That's what I was at. That was actually, I'm glad you clarified that, because that was my kind of concern, was it was like an August, September thing, or maybe even October, but August, September is probably that lock-in date.
Yep.
There you go.
To be sure you're going to be able, because there's going to be a rush. So you got to be careful.
You got to be in the know and be on top of things. And you can do it. GridSolarLLC.com, GridSolarLLC.com, and work with a trusted and true partner. Don't work with the kid that has the mullet that knocked on your door and that has the baseball hat. He is working hard, but he can find another avenue. Go with the trusted and true professional, and make sure you tell him that CJ sent you over their way.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Welcome back, 10:35, a little bit of change. Mary Cordes.
Hi.
Executive Director of Hayner Library. You got some sheets in front of me today.
I'm throwing you off here. It's not just the newsletter. I have all kinds of stuff to talk about today.
Well, the floor is yours, Senator. Where do you want to start off with?
Well, I mean, we have our programs that are coming up, but one of the programs that we've never talked about, and it's actually one of my favorite programs that's not administered by Hayner Library, but we have all the information about it. It's the Illinois Talking Book and Braille Service. So this is a program that is run through the National Library Service, through the Library of Congress, and then administered locally by each state.
Mm-hmm.
And in Illinois, it's the Illinois State Library. But this is a fantastic program that not too many people take advantage of, but it's available to a lot of different people. So you can go on our website, and again, all of this will be on our website probably tomorrow. I've been working on trying to get it updated today. Probably not going to happen. So it'll probably be tomorrow. So you can find everything we talk about on our website tomorrow. But the Talking Book and Braille program is a service for people that are blind and physically handicapped through the Library of Congress. If you can't read, or you need Braille service, or you need audiobooks or something like that, or if you physically can't hold a book, the Illinois State Library administers the program. You can have books mailed to you, so they'll actually come through the mail. They're not through the library, they'll be coming through the Postal Service. And so you can have books, magazines, newspapers, all different kinds of fiction, nonfiction information sent to you through the Postal Service. And you listen to it. You can either download it using an app, the BARD app, or you can use, they'll actually send you a physical reader that you can use that's Braille. So the buttons are Braille. All the information is read to you. And you just use the materials and then mail them back, and then they will mail you more materials. And it's just kind of like our homebound program, but through the mail. And it's for people that, like I said, are physically handicapped, where they can't hold a book, or have some sort of a vision issue, whether it's low vision or it's legitimate 100% blindness and you need Braille. All free, all available through the mail to anybody who is living in Illinois.
And see, it's just, those things are something you take for granted.
Yes, absolutely.
You know, and because it's one of those, for you guys, it's a typical service, but I'm sure for other libraries, that's a pretty important one.
Yeah. So for our patrons, it's fantastic because, you know, like I said, we don't administer the program. We just give out the information. So our staff knows about it. And what you can do is you do have to sign up for the program. So on our website, we will have the phone number for the Illinois State Library. We'll also have, if somebody needs help finding the application, it's in English and Spanish. It will be on our website, or like I said, you can call the Illinois State Library, and they can help you. Obviously, if you have vision issues, filling out the application is going to be a problem. So call the state library, and they will be able to give you all that information and help you fill out the application. So
and now I hate to sound ignorant about this, but I'm not too versed in Braille.
No, it's a program that not many people know about.
Is it just for Spanish and English, or is there?
Right now, it's currently Spanish and English.
Okay.
And you know, and again, the state library might have more information. I never thought about it, but all the information just comes in English and Spanish.
Okay.
So I'm assuming that that's the program as well. And if anybody wants to know about it, like I said, there's this digital player. I don't know if people can see it on the screen, but this is the digital player. It has large shaped buttons, a sleep timer, a speed control, a tone control, and a bookmark. So it sort of acts like basically like a just an old-fashioned recording device.
What I think's great about that too, though, Mary, is I'm thinking even for the folks that maybe aren't necessarily blind, but maybe the ones that are kind of towards the latter part of the last 18.
Absolutely,
Because the button pressing and even page turning can get so difficult. That could be a wonderful outlet.
Yep, and this is for, like I said, this is for people that have physical disabilities to where they can't hold a book. I know towards the end of my grandmother's life, she couldn't hold. She needed the large print. It was kind of a double-edged sword. She needed the large print to be able to see it, but she couldn't hold the large print because they're so much heavier. So it's kind of a double-edged sword for that. So these are all audio materials that you can either access through an app or that you can access through using a player, and it's wonderful. And if people want that phone number to call the Illinois State Library, it's 1-800-426-0709, and we'll have that on our website as well. So
that's just wonderful.
Yeah, it's a program that not a lot of people know about, and that I wanted to make sure we let people know that it's there. So
Well, one thing too, while you're gathering all the other events and things we're talking about, I wanted to make sure people knew that you guys could at any time go over to HaynerLibrary.org, and you can sign up for the daily or the weekly email that comes out. And this is really cool because for all of you guys that are busy out there and summer's hectic, that email can really keep you up to date on all the things happen at the library event-wise, and it's a great way, in a way that you aren't getting your mailbox jammed up every week with a letter. You know, this is wonderful. So you just go over there. You just saw it on the screen, HaynerLibrary.org. That orange banner says sign up for our newsletter. Right there. Put that email address in, and you're good to go. Hit sign up today, and you're in the know.
Every week you'll get an email that talks about what's happening that coming week, so that you.
Those aren't easy to set up.
No.
That was pretty impressive.
Thank you.
That was.
I did it while we were talking,
That's not easy to set up.
So I just thought people might want to see it, and this is kind of what it looks like. So if you do have, again, especially if you have some type of an impairment with your hands, these players are fairly large. I don't know if people can see it. They're fairly large, and the cassettes that people have, so.
Don't look at my bald spot.
So that's the player, and so they're larger so that they're easier to manipulate.
That's the first thing I noticed was the fact that it wasn't. I mean, I like a Kindle, but they're so darn small.
They are small. These are much easier for people to manipulate. So, through the Illinois State Library. It's called the Illinois Talking Book and Braille Program. So,
are you guys wrapping up with summer reading already?
Summer reading for teens, yes. So, the summer reading program for teens, the party is tomorrow night. So,
is it really?
It ends tomorrow night, and from 4 to 6 p.m. At our Alton Square Mall upstairs in the performance room from 4 to 6 p.m. The teens are going to have a party. So if you are interested in that, there is endangered animal mini golf, henna tattoos, food, always food.
What is endangered animal mini golf?
I don't know. You caught me out on that one. I don't know. Megan and Sharon, and Megan has put it together. So I kind of want to go see what it's going to be, because I don't really know, if I'm being honest. I'm sure it's going to be fun. So, but if anybody's not been to that performance room, it's a big space. So I'm sure they have an entire mini golf course laid out for kids to play, or for teens to play. So that'll be tomorrow night from 4 to 6 p.m. at the Alton Square Mall upstairs in our performance room.
And when does the kids program
So the kids program, I'm glad you asked that. I've got it here in the newsletter. There's so much going on. I can't keep my dates straight. I have to have these newsletters. The end of the summer reading program for the kids is July 18th, and that's from 5 to 7 p.m. And Mad Science will be coming, and we'll have treats by Moe's Sweet Treats.
She's
with her
wonderful.
Bike. She's fantastic. So Moe's is going to be there. Handing out ice cream to the kids. So that's going to be July 18th from 5 to 7 upstairs at the mall.
It's just crazy how that month just flies freaking by.
It absolutely flew by.
But this month, this was a different year. I mean, this was really quick.
We had a lot of things going on this year for the summer reading program, and the amount of books that the kids have read is unreal. I think we're up to like 3,000 something books.
Are you serious?
Yeah, for the kids have read. It's amazing. The kids have been fantastic this year, and the teens. That includes the teens, and we've had more teens participating in our summer reading program than we've ever had, and it's fantastic, and it's all down to Megan and Sharon and her crew. Megan has worked so hard on this, and so all hats off to Megan.
That's wonderful. You got a minute to stick around? I got to take my last break.
Of course.
We'll take the last break of the day at 10:43, but we're going to come back and go even more beyond the shelves with Hayner Library right after this.
No matter the season, Play It Again Sports in Edwardsville has the gear the athletes need to get in the game. Whether you're shopping for the newest sports equipment or saving money on quality used gear, Play It Again Sports carries what you need to maximize performance performance to get the most out of every swing, kick, stroke, or shot. We'll even buy your used goods, paying cash on the spot. We carry all the gear for all the sports all year long. We're your hometown sporting goods store. Play It Again Sports, conveniently located at 4 Club Center Court in Edwardsville.
I just got a new air conditioner. Top of the line.
I bet mine's better. It's so efficient and quiet, I hardly know it's running.
I've got you both trumped. I've got a Linux.
So do I.
Barrett Heating and Cooling carries Linux products to meet any budget. Don't gamble with your energy dollars. Call Barrett Heating and Cooling and start saving today.
Lennox. Innovation never felt so good.
With over 20 years of experience, Wilson's Tree Service has the expertise to handle all of your tree care needs. Licensed and fully insured, their team of experts are dedicated to providing reliable service. Plus, with a 24-hour emergency service line, Wilson's will always be there for you. Don't risk tackling that timber by yourself. Trust the local professionals at Wilson's Tree Service. Visit treeservicealtonil.org to get started today.
Welcome to Evergreen Place, a community that embodies joyful living, independence, and financial freedom for seniors. If you're looking for a full day of activities or to relax in your apartment, we have you covered. Located on the Alton Memorial Campus. To know us is to love us. Experience the difference at Evergreen Place.
Life's better when you're under our roof. That's because our expert agents will make you feel totally protected with the right auto and home coverage at the right price. Also, you can enjoy the dreams you've worked so hard to achieve. American Family Insurance.
Since 1993, Sparks Junk Removal is always adapting to the needs of our clients. That is why we now offer weekly trash pickup for selected areas. Plus, we offer driveway-safe rubber-tired dumpster rental. Give us a call today at 618-781-1407 or visit us at sparksjunkremoval.net.
Not sure if you've noticed, but those advertised prices from the other dealers are just a bunch of blah, blah, blah. At Roberts Motors, the advertised price is the price you pay. And that, my friend, is great news for you. Don't fall for their so-called incentives that will leave you banging your head against the wall. Go with Roberts Motors. Prices you can trust and people you will like. That's the Roberts Motors way. And trust me, it's the way to go.
In the heart-pounding moments of the game, every move counts, just like in chiropractic care. Dr. Andrew Dykman of Rosewood Chiropractic champions this belief, supporting our teams in every drive and supporting his patients for nearly 20 years, offering affordable, compassionate, all-natural wellness care. Call 618-259-2676 or visit rosewoodchiropractic.com today.
Welcome back to our daily show. Here's CJ.
Even if they say you're wrong, well, it's alright. Sometimes you gotta be strong.
Welcome back to 1047. And Mary Cordes, what are the events coming down the pipeline?
In a couple of weeks, because we do the first Monday and the last Monday of the month. So between them, we have some programs. So we have the Madison County Community Development Information Sessions. First time we've done this. We are going to be having a representative who's going to be coming from the he's the coordinator for Madison County, and he's going to come and just talk about what everybody throws around the term community block grant, and people think, what is it? So,
yeah, thank you.
Yeah, so we're going to talk about what it is. We're going to talk about the what the opportunities are for the expenditures for the community block grant, and then people can give their input into how they think the money should be spent. So that's going to be at the Alton Square Mall in the multipurpose room on July 9th at the library, July 9th at 6 p.m. So we'll be having that. And then we have I actually over the weekend had 3 people come up to me and talk about this. We're going to have Dr. Dee Kilgo is going to be coming to talk about George Caleb Bingham and the river paintings. And so she's going to be giving a presentation on who George Caleb Bingham is, how important he is to the art world, and the impact that his paintings have. And a lot of them are river paintings, and so they're kind of pertinent to this area. His paintings are in the Metropolitan Museum of Art and also in the St. Louis Art Museum. So,
well, and honestly, I never even thought about paintings as being important. And hear me out, because we live in a digital age, and you know, paintings and maps are something I never even thought about. But without an excellent painter and a talented one, no one would understand what the geographic landscape is.
Exactly, and she's going to talk about that. She's going to talk about the importance of the paintings both as iconic artworks, because they're masterpieces, and she's also going to talk about them as unique historical records, because you're exactly right. It gives you a snapshot, now a literal snapshot. This is what that version of a snapshot was. You get to see, and he lived from 1811 to 1879, so you kind of get a snapshot of what the river looked like, what the people on the river looked like, what life was like on the river, and she's going to be talking about that. And so,
what date is that?
So that is, we have 2 dates. We have Wednesday, July 10th from 6 to 7:30 p.m., and then we have Saturday, July 13th from 10 to 11:30 a.m. Now, in the newsletter, we have it that the July 10th, which is the Wednesday evening program, that's actually going to take place at the Mall Library.
Okay.
In the newsletter, it says the Genealogy Library. We actually had to move that one. So that one is going to be at the Mall Library. And if you're signed up for that, we're going to call and let you know.
Oh, cool, yeah.
We'll remind you that it's been changed. And then Saturday, July 13th, from 10 to 11:30 a.m., that will be at the Genealogy and Local History Library on State Street. So we'll have that in our news.
That's a wonderful presentation.
Yeah,
Is this the first time she's been to Hayner?
She's been here before, and I believe this is the first time she's talked about George Caleb Bingham. So,
okay.
Yeah, this will be interesting. And I'm really interested in this, not that anybody cares, but in college I had to write a paper in an art, you have to take an art class, and I took an art class and actually wrote about George Caleb Bingham, and so I'm really interested to see that. And plus, we live on the river, so it's gonna be really interesting.
Well, and too, I mean, that's what people always talk about, loving where you live, and the thing is, learn where you live too.
Exactly.
I mean, this is a wonderful opportunity to kind of gauge it.
Yeah.
And oh damn it, I don't know what I was just gonna say. I lost my train of thought, but it was something funny.
Well, I'm sure it was. Well, if you think of it, we can come back to it. And then we have 2 more programs. We have our summer reading retreat, which is going to be July 19th. It's a Friday evening, so come out on a Friday night. Friday, July 19th from 6 to 7:30 p.m. at the mall. And we're going to have a charcuterie and lemonade, and you can paint a flower pot. And while you're doing that, you can talk about books. The whole focus is reading and books. So you can come and chat with people. Bring your friends.
Your friend's dog.
Yeah, bring your friend's dog. We've got, we used to have a dog reading program.
Did you really?
Yeah. So we used to have therapy dogs that would come, and the kids could sit down and read with the therapy dogs. So
that sounds good on a day like this.
Yeah. I hear you. It's going to be from 6 to 7:30 p.m. It's our summer reading retreat. We're going to have snacks and lemonade and a craft project, and then people can chat about books. You can come. It's an open house. So you can stay as long as you want. You can stay for the whole time or as little as you want. And we're going to have areas open up in the library for you to just sit down and read, because people just need to take some time out of their lives, and reading's a great way to relax. And so you can either come and talk about books with people, you can bring your book. We're going to have books for people to choose from. So yeah, you can come and do that.
Honestly, it's one of those where it's just to sit down.
Yeah.
How many people do you know that haven't even taken a breath in days?
Exactly. Yeah. So you can come and do that, and with like-minded people who are interested in reading, and get some really great suggestions for books. And then the thing that we talked about last week when I was here, we have a program called Code Talkers, the fascinating history of Native American service in World War II. We have so many people that have signed up for it. We were going to have it in our multi-purpose room at the mall. We were going to move it upstairs in the mall. So still at the mall, just upstairs on the upper level in our programming room.
I knew it would be packed.
I'm so excited. I'm so happy to know that too. So this is going to be the history of the Native American Code Talkers and their service during World War II broadly, and then focusing on how they helped at D-Day, so at the D-Day landings. So I think it's going to be really interesting.
That is incredible. Well, when you mentioned it, and I saw it on the sheet last time, I knew that it would take off, but to really move a location for it. Now, not being funny, is there still room
There's
left?
still room.
Okay.
There is because we saw the outpouring of support for it, we're going to move it upstairs. And so there's plenty of room so people can still register. And you can call the library. You can call 1-800-613-3163 to register. Same for the summer reading retreat. We really want people to call and register so that we make sure we have enough supplies and that kind of thing. But you can just go onto our website, click on the events calendar, find it, and the phone number will be listed there. So we have that coming up, I should say. And then our genealogy and local history program, we have Branching Out, which is July 11th at 10 o'clock, and then the following week, the discussion group on July 18th at 10 o'clock. And this month, we're going to focus on vital records from the church to the courthouse. So if you're doing family history or local or genealogy research, you can come to those. They're roundtables. The first week is sort of information.
Who's a part of those roundtables?
So it's our patrons have been coming. Some of them belong to genealogical groups. Some people are just starting out. Some people are really decades into doing research. So it's a wide swath of people that are interested. And that's what's so helpful about it, because you've got the newbies who don't know how to do this, and then you have people who've been doing it for decades, and there's so much information that's passed between people. And even the newer people, they're new to it, so they're finding resources maybe that are brand new that the people who've been doing it for years haven't known about. So it's really fun.
Well, and that's what I think's cool, because if you're ready to start it, I know a few people that have started to try to track things down and trace. You're going to spend 25 years trying to learn what these folks already know.
They already know, and they may have already done.
Yeah.
And you can just, piggyback off of their work.
How does that happen quite a bit?
A lot.
Does it really?
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah, we'll have people who are, they'll come in and they'll talk about it, and they're like, oh, well, I know so-and-so, and you might want to talk to them, or they're related to this person that I found, or this is happening, or, oh, while I happened to be at, the Greene County Historical Society, I heard somebody talking about such and such. So it's just like everything, everything's connected, and you don't realize it till you start talking about it. So.
It's just incredible.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's what I think's wonderful too is, I mean, across the board, you have something for literally everybody. And that's from the summer reading program, which we all know is very, it's highly participated, and especially $3,000.
Yeah.
I mean, that's more than they read in a school year,
It's a lot. Yeah.
But I mean, now down to this, I mean, where you have something for older adults and even caregivers, the sons and daughters for medical things and issues, and even with Senator Harrison coming in with her office. Did that happen already?
No, she's going to be coming. We actually just got a call from her office. We had programs scheduled for August and September, and she's not going to be able to make it on those dates. So we will have fall hours, though. We will have October. We already have October scheduled, and then into the fall. So we will be having those, though. So yeah, but it's everything. I mean, it's everything from constituent services, a place for them to meet our lawmakers, all the way down to kids' summer reading program. If we just try to run the gamut for everyone, and we've got some programs that we hope to be starting up soon that are going to be able to connect people with social services.
Yeah.
So that's going to be a really important program that we're going to start, service that we're going to start soon.
That's actually a great point, because I was going to ask you this. I mean, you guys really cover the board now as it is, and not patronizing you, but you guys do. I mean, you guys really have a good grasp on so many things. Is there something that you're looking to kind of explore, in terms of just topic-wise, in terms of coverage-wise, that maybe we can just keep an eye out for?
Well, one of the things that we always want is feedback. So anytime that somebody says, there's this group of people that we see that you're doing programs for teens and for kids, and for a while we had the homebound program for our older patrons, but that was kind of it. So we've started working with the Alzheimer's Association and doing some memory care programs, and we actually have some memory care kits and some things for our older patrons to work on. And now we have an influx in our community. If you've been paying attention at all to the news, the wonderful thing about the library is that it's open to everybody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's the last place really truly in society that everybody is welcome. And so we in one day we could have someone who's unhoused and who needs social services, all the way to our senator walking in, and it runs the gamut in between. And so one of the things that we've found that our patrons are needing are connections to social services. So that's something that we're going to start working on, because the need is there and patrons are asking us for it. We're worried that people will say, well, if you start offering these programs, those are the people that are going to be coming in the library. Well, those people are already coming in the library, and so
they're already here.
And so we're just trying to respond to services and programs and things that people need. And so we're always open to trying anything, and that's the thing. We'll try it. If it works, fantastic. If it doesn't, we'll.
But that's a wonderful thing, because out of all of this, and I'm not bringing up a news story, but the Hope House. Everyone's, whether or not you're on the side of it or against it has nothing to do with this. Your guy, to be able to provide, at least some options and resources for those people, and maybe it's right down the road at a Centerstone, maybe it's somewhere down in Madison County somewhere that has the help they need.
Yep.
But you're serving those people on the street corners, and we see them every day.
Well, and people are in the library, so it's kind of what can we do? How can we be responsive to anybody that walks through the door? And so this is one way to do it, and it's one way to do it. The resource is already established, so why should we reinvent the wheel? We'll partner and provide services that we know our patrons need. We reach out and find, we identify the need for our patrons, and then we try to find a group that can help us with it.
I just love it, because you can't, your community isn't one you can pick and choose.
Right.
Community's community. Good, bad, indifferent, doesn't matter.
Yep.
We all make up the same
exactly.
It's just wonderful, Mary.
So
and
thank you.
Just keep being a rock star.
We're trying.
And thank you for getting me through the last 15 minutes.
You're welcome.
I'm out of time. I'll see you back here live at 9 for more of our daily show tomorrow. We got a full show. I'm going live. I have a working on 4th of July. Yeah.
Well,
a lot of guests.
DJ.
I'll see you tomorrow. Try your best to stay out of jail.
Oh, yes, he did. He said